song. Function, pumping and dumping, manipulate the market, flooded from the darknet, flooded from the deep web, keep it a secret, every exchange got the nerdy brains trading on the frequent.
מאות, אם לא יותר מזה אפילו, של מטבעות דיגיטליים שכאלה, חלקם זאת רמאות.
Sorry about that. That was supposed to spring up that fast. I know that's what she said. We're also on the wrong page here. Give me a moment. I just want to make sure the audio is working. Sorry about that. There we go. We have audio. Yay! Audio. Fun times. Amazing. Okay. Hello. Oh, shoot. We forgot something. Hang on. Hang on. We need to do this. Thankfully, the co-founder is not here, so I can just go in and grab this. Here it is. There we go. That's why I felt naked earlier. Because we now need to actually implement the blockchain. And your INCENT reward is coming up in about 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and there's the reward. You can go to get.incent.com or scan the small QR code when you get the app for it. I believe the only way you can actually access it now is the app, and you should be able to. My hair is all crazy as usual. Download that. You also notice I have a lack of excess hair on today's Crypto Barons. So without further ado, welcome. Welcome to the last Crypto Barons of 2020. We will be back next year and we will get into that. But let's first kind of explain of like who we are and what we do. I am Side Pocket. As you've seen, I have a recent semi-terrible haircut that I gave to myself because everything was driving me crazy up here. And it looks okay to terrible, but we're going to make do with it. I am one of the two co-founders of DEF CON 201. DEF CON 201 or DC 201 is a subsection of the DEF CON groups. We are a group that meets once a month, in this case, third Friday of every month, to talk about cool hacker stuff and to present our projects and do hacker maker coder things. Unfortunately, because there is a terrible plague going on out there, as well as like cops just shooting the people in the face because, and for some reason, more Amazon delivery vehicles than United States Postal Service vehicles, thus ruining Christmas. Not only do we broadcast our meetings, we just had one last Friday, not the last Friday, the previous Friday. Um, we had our meeting, but we also like to do these sort of like special interest shows, just to kind of get out what we like to explore. And this is one of my two shows besides Master of Unlocking. This is Crypto Barons, where we and if you want to know, by the way, more about us as a hacker group, you can go down to the URL below at defcon21.org. You can also find us on a wide range of social media such as defcon201nj, which is our main Twitter. And then if you search for that, or if you go to our link tree, which I'll quickly type in chat here, link tree DEFCON 201. You can find all the crazy social media stuff that we have on there, including on Instagram and GitHub, which you'll be seeing in a moment, and all sort of awesome things like that. A couple of things before we continue on with the show. We do want to remind that we are currently up until December 2nd, so up until the day after New Year's Day, not New Year's Eve, New Year's Day, we are trying to raise money for Child's Play charity. No, that's not the Chucky movies, as awesome as they can be. It is a wonderful organization done by the Penny Arcade people. We are familiar with them. We were at the Penny Arcade Expo East, or PAX East, earlier this year, back before people were licking doorknobs and rubbing their butts on each other and killing each other through stupidity, as what's been going on in America and other parts of the world for the past, like, it feels like it's been years, but it's probably more like 8 to 11 months. Uh, and um, and it's an awesome organization in which you get to raise money. We get to raise money to essentially be Hacker Santa Claus. Every dollar that you raise goes to either fund video games and toys or assistive equipment such as ventilators, wheelchairs, crutches, VR rehabilitation equipment, and other such things to kids who have all different types of terribleness happen to them, whether they got sick from COVID or some sort of illness, physically harmed, mentally or physically abused, basically all sorts of domestic abuse, and or are born or have to live with crippling illnesses. So we're all trying to be Hacker Santa, where you can at least make kids going in 2020 way better than it was of all of 2021. Sorry, all of 2020. I think we can all relate to that. So just want to put in the link here, child's, let's do that with an apostrophe, charity donation. So here is the donation link for everyone who is on DLive, YouTube, Facebook, even what's that place? Oh yeah, Tor on YouTube and everywhere else. If you are on Twitch, you can scroll below, and we have a widget where you can donate without having to leave the live stream. We're trying to reach 300 before the end of New Year's Day, but any amount of money that you send not only goes through Tiltify, that's a third party, that's not us. We don't touch the money whatsoever, but all that money, even if it remains the $85, in which a bunch of people, including an anonymous donation of $25, happened, all that money will go to the sick kids anyhow. So either way, you win. And unlike Donald Trump, I do like winning. So that's what we're trying to do. So you can go to that link and donate. Also, if you donate, but even if you like this sort of show or some of the other stuff we're going to be doing, you can hit that bell, like, share, subscribe on Twitch, DLive, YouTube, and Facebook. And if you're out there on Tor, hi, anonymous users on Tor. If you do, we get notifications for those same things if you send bits or lemons or super chats, and we greatly appreciate it. And we shout that. If you donate to Child's Play, even if it's just $1, $3, $5, we do a super shout out. We usually like to each episode read kind of the list of people who currently donate. I'm actually going to look at that on the other monitor right now. Currently in donation, we had two anonymous donations, one at $25, one at $10, and Anunnaki, I think, Amunic Junkie donated, as well as Explode and Semix. So thank you for all of those, including Explode's comments of Yi to being Hacker Santa. It's going to be wonderful for these sick kids this year. And finally, if you have any questions about who's this broad on my shirt, why am I wearing a literal physical blockchain on this show, what the hell happened to all of my beautiful hair, as well as any of the subjects I bring up on tonight's Crypto Barons, please reach out to us. I like informing people on and talking with chat. Otherwise, I assume, as I say, keep lurking and keep learning. If you're watching, you're learning something. So, what is this show, and what are we doing today after all that blabbing? This is my other show outside of Master of Unlocking called Crypto Barons, in which we look at literal, well, more code like blockchains, as well as cryptocurrencies, from a technological perspective. What I mean by that is, I've been around the cryptocurrency scene and done testing and stuff for a while. I'm gonna be like forever adjusting this terrible hair, and it really frustrates me that, again, on the show occasionally we are gonna do that, especially tonight. We're gonna get into some community things, some investment things. Um, it frustrates me that, blockchain is such a cool, interesting technology, and there's so many awesome ways of implementing it. And there's also some really unique cryptocurrency ideas out there, whether it's financial or mechanical. There's also terrible scams and stupidity all around that. And it's really hard for me to find programming or shows, whether it's like blog entries, white papers, etc., about these, about like how it's coded, how the blockchain's implemented, what went wrong, how it got hacked, how do these weird unique features work, etc. And instead, it's just like snake oil salesman investor bullshit. So that's what we mainly focus on the show, is about that. I would put it this way: I love Coin Bureau, awesome guy. If Coin Bureau focuses a lot on markets, we focus a lot on the backbone technology that actually builds this up. And of course, we're not sponsored by any cryptocurrency exchange or federation or whatever. So we're allowed to be very honest and talk about how, we actually view all this stuff. So today, we had a specific topic, but we kind of got preempted because of news that came out around Christmas time, around December 20th, that I thought we would cover on the show. And so we're going to switch over to the stream, the other kind of display right now. And hopefully no videos will immediately start playing like last time, because that was just dumb. That was my fault. I apologize. So here we go. So as you can see, this is our website right here. It's done by Sarah Sill. You can find us again at defcon21.org. And we just want to make two quick announcements, by the way, because we are immediately going to start streaming tomorrow. And what we're going to start streaming tomorrow is basically in the next 4 days, from December 27th to December 30th. Me primarily, although some of the roommates and other hackers might chime in, are going to be watching what's known as RC3. There's an in-joke about that I'll explain on air, which stands for Remote Chaos Computer Conference, hence 3Cs or CCC. It's run by the people who do the Chaos Computer Congress out in Germany. They're a major European computer hacker group and organization, and they've been doing conferences for many, many years. If I remember correctly, I believe they predate Hackers on Planet Earth and DEF CON, and were some of the inspiration for those two cons. So you can see how legendary old it is. And because of coronavirus and unrest in Germany, as you do, they're going to be doing everything remote. So very similar to how we were live streaming like the keynotes for Hackers on Planet Earth and every day of DEF CON, whether it was Crypto Barons looking at all the cryptocurrency tech, or G.I. Jack futzing around with stuff, or the time we did the EFF game show, our own panel, and what's all that stuff. we are going to take a look at the Remote Chaos Computer Conference, or RC3, doing the next couple of days, starting tomorrow on the December 27th of Sunday. So we're going to be doing it each day. It'll be on all of our normal streams, Twitch, DLive, YouTube, and Facebook, as well as those who are watching very smartly YouTube through Tor, because that's an awesome function that we like to advertise. And tomorrow we're going to start because they're running on Germany time, and that's way earlier than Eastern Standard Time. So all the times we posted is for Eastern Standard Time. So for you watching out there who are used to our Eastern Standard Time schedule, or you can go convert it somewhere, we're going to be starting at 12 noon Eastern Standard Time tomorrow with the talk, and then it's going to go all the way until basically 6 p.m. was going to round ending. Then Monday is going to be starting at 11 a.m. going on to 6 p.m. And then Tuesday is at 11 a.m. going on to 6 p.m. And then Wednesday is going to be super early at 9 a.m. because the entire convention is going to run and end sometime between 1 to 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I have no idea if a Hack Alt and Commander is going to happen that night. I do know that the following day, on December 31st, which is our second announcement that we're still working details on, but we will post this soon. If you haven't heard, DEF CON itself is going to be hosting a New Year's Eve party. And that's kind of the understatement of the year, because essentially they're going to be doing a one-day mini DEF CON going into New Year's. So December 31st through January 1st, they're going to be going through New Year's. And of course, there's going to be so much different cool content and programs. There's going to be the DEF CON Awards. Please vote for us in every category that doesn't suck. There's going to be all sorts of contests, such as the Darknet games. There's going to be a DEF CON mud running. There's going to be a DEF CON scavenger hunt online, drunk hacker history panel, hackers against humanity card game, hacker Jeopardy, hack the planet. CTF is going on. Hack the planet. That's if you follow us on Twitch, DLive, or YouTube, and possibly Facebook. We get notifications for that. It's great. And then let's try and figure this out here. Actually, let me switch this over. There's going to be a Kubernetes CTF. I don't know why. An SSH contest, TCP/IP drinking game, in which probably me or GI Jack is going to win. The Tele Challenge, which is a cool telephone challenge sort of thing, and a Who Slides of it anyway. And then there's going to be a bunch of parties from other places, such as the AppSec, Cocktail Con, and oh look, we are going to be hosting an event that night. That's right, we are going to be live streaming on here, and possibly on the DEF CON Discord itself. And regardless, we're going to be acting with the DEF CON Discord very heavily. And not only are we going to check out, QueerCon, the Red Team Village, Sky Talks, VetCom, all the crazy DJ music, all these different contests and activities, but we're going to be providing our own crazy stuff, such as us, being finally, me and N Commander being tortured for all the charity donations. That's right. Usually when we reach our charity goals, one of the DC 201 members get tortured for our own amusement. We hit 2 goals way back in the summer that we're very proud of, and so of course, we've delayed it long enough, and it's time that me and N Commander finally get tortured for charity. And we're going to be doing a bunch of other things, including, and I can announce this early, leading up to New Year's and then past New Year's, all night, we're going to be running an Among Us stream. So you will be able to get Among Us for free on your phone or on your desktop or Nintendo Switch, which is how we're playing it. And we get to see who's sus and who's the imposter and play a game with all of you. So just note that December 31st, January 1st, we're going to be doing cool activities on the DEF CON New Year's Eve party, and we're going to be streaming. We're still working out details of that. And then starting tomorrow from Sunday through Wednesday, December 27th to the 30th, we're going to be watching and reacting to the Remote Chaos Computer Congress, or RC3, starting at 12 noon our time, Eastern Standard Time. So, again, we had a topic that we're still going to get into in a moment on Crypto Barons. Here's the actual cryptocurrency part, okay? So I know I've stalled for too long. I just had to get that out of the way. But there was a major thing that happened on around December 20th that we have to kind of preempt and get into because it's Hacker AF. And it's kind of urgent out there. Coin Bureau has a great video of it. If you look up Coin Bureau's, one of his recent videos, he covers it. This is kind of our take on it. And that is, and unfortunately, now here's the problem. Because our co-founder ran out way too fast, I have no idea if I actually can find this thing somewhere in his abode, because he probably grabbed it and took it somewhere and put it in a stupid place that now I will pretty much not be able to find because this is how co-founder G.I. Jack likes to operate, where I tell him I'm going to need a thing the episode before, and then he completely forgets to give it over to me. But because I can't find it, I will bring up that in a couple of episodes ago, one of the things we did was we unboxed a Ledger Nano S wallet. Now this and the INCENT rewards about to happen in a moment. This is a This is a hardware wallet, meaning it's essentially a very fancy USB stick with a little screen on it, has a bunch of built-in programs and other stuff. Muffle, muffle, muffle. Hold on. Okay, I can hear this on my end now. It's probably because I stepped away. Basically, I was complaining about GI Jack not being able to give the thing that I needed when I needed it. But you should be able to properly hear me now. Um, but yeah, we were dissecting what's known as a Ledger wallet, particularly the Ledger Nano Wallet S. It's a fancy USB stick, little screen on it, has a bunch of inbuilt hardware and software features that basically acts as a cold storage wallet for multiple popular cryptocurrencies, so you can physically kind of carry it around as a literal wallet, hence the term a physical wallet. And we went through ways, abstract ways that people have hacked them, but this is literally something else, like entirely on a whole new level. This is not just simple like theoretical playing with voltages and injecting code that way. This is big. Uh, Initially, this was projected at 1 million, but it turns out, I guess, when looking at the data, there was a major data leak from Ledger, the company that makes the wallet, because now here's the key here, as they mention in their post, and this is true. This breach happened in July. The extent of the breach was not known until a couple of days ago. Your cryptocurrency assets are probably safe in the wallet itself, meaning that if you meaning that they're probably not going to pwn your wallet exactly, although we'll get into that in a second, and steal your crypto from your wallet. It's not like they mass stole people's wallet codes. That's not the issue. The issue is that for most people buying the Ledger wallets, um, you have to order it from their website, which means you have to put in a bunch of information, which we can see over here, where you have put in an email, you list kind of what you do, and you have to list a first name, a last name, possible optional company, address, country, city, state, zip code, and they don't list it as optional, but I believe it is. I don't think you have to leave them with a telephone number, but because they don't put it as optional, it's there. I would say if you want to skirt around that, you could load up like a Google voice number that you can easily delete after you purchase the thing. And a lot of people also paid in cash. We paid for our Nano Ledger S wallet in Bitcoin itself, which is an option on here, which if you can do that, I highly recommend it because even though the ledger is public, again, that's less details because essentially these details were stored on a centralized server and basically they were able to get a chunk of data that contained over 2,700,000 customer data, which includes those phone numbers and physical addresses. The leak also included 1 million emails of Ledger wallet owners and customers. So this is pretty important about this breach here because a lot of people reuse emails for multiple things. I don't recommend that. I think particularly if you're buying crypto stuff, especially for wallets, you should have an email that is just for that one crypto wallet of your choice or that one crypto purchase of your choice, and then you're done with it, and you can do a throwaway email address like that. Um, Otherwise, a lot of people reuse their email and informations, and this is an issue because a lot of these people who've leaked have already gotten what's known as spam emails and phishing emails. I was going to cover phishing for this year, but because we have this news plus the stuff I'm going to talk about, probably sometime early next year, we'll make like a scams or whatever part two, and I'll detail exactly what phishing is and how that works. But essentially, people were getting emails that were reported from the Ledger company when they weren't about like, hey, you need to restart your wallet or whatever, and you have to click on this, and basically that would download ransomware, or would download a malicious program in which, in order to reset your wallet, you have to enter your seed keys that are generated. That's all the passphrases that gets generated every time you make a wallet that you're told to physically write down and store somewhere. And once they have those, they have your wallet access, whether it's hardware or software, they'll be able to get into it. So that's one thing that's been happening. People have also, thanks to these phone numbers getting leaked, have been getting robocalls from people. Also doing that scareware, where it's like basically like punk programs trying to freak people out is another thing. I'm trying to remember here. Another thing that's been happening, and by the way, to note this leak here because I tracked it down, it was particularly leaked right here. This is a huge hacker forum called Raid Forums. It's a .com, raidforums.com. It's a public internet access. You have to sign up for it, but anyone, it's not paid, anyone can sign up becoming a user. And as you can see, we don't have an account here, but anyone can see this. You have to log in to actually download the data, and obviously we don't want to dox people further than they are, so we're not displaying the data, but I just want to show it's this type of this is not like on the darknet or on Tor like we covered back in October. This is purely on the clear net, and that's why this data just got exposed to so many hackers that people are now going to phish and malware scam and ransomware and pwn because of all this data that's leaked. So then becomes the question of what can you do to circumvent this type of crazy stuff in the future. Well, first of all, obviously the trust with Ledger has been broken here, and I probably don't recommend getting stuff from Ledger. Also, in the near future, if you want to be super secure. Also to note from Ledger is that while the wallets are cold storage offline, in order to update them, which you definitely have to, I think you have to make an account with them, and you do have to sync and or possibly download the program from their website. There is a way to use Electrum to go around that, which is something that GI Jack and I helped him with also did. But yeah, that's a whole kit caboodle of itself. So I'd probably go for Trezor. And the cool thing about both Trezor and Ledger again is you can pay in cryptocurrency, you can pay in Bitcoin. Um, Let me look at the stuff here. Get a PO box, have it be sent over to there. You possibly might be able to put an alias with that PO box to be extra secure. Do not leave them their telephone number if you can avoid it. If not, generate one with a Google voice number and then just trash that. The PO box is there definitely because we're trying to set up as one as well so that people don't know where people live. Um, if you want to be super secure, and this is actually a cool idea that Coinbox brought up, Coin Bureau, is if you're super paranoid about security on these things, a couple of things. One, go out and get a deposit box at a bank, and when you write your code, when you physically write the code letters to them, you get two safe deposit box, and you write half on one paper, half on the other physically, and then you put them in those two separate boxes. That way, even if not one, they have to actually go through a banking institution and break in or social engineer to get it. Two, if they do, they're probably only going to end up with half of your wallet numbers. Your wallet passphrases, meaning they won't have the full set of code and it won't work. If you want to be extra paranoid, you can go to two different banking systems in two different locations and do each a box so that way they're physically separate. So if one bank is compromised in uptown, the one in downtown has the other half and doesn't happen. USPS PO box require an ID to open about $100. There is that. Um, I'm not sorry. Sarasol's not up, so I don't know because I've heard not from him but from other people that there's other services and other places that would be able to go around that. But again, the issue with this is that we're just trying to put a buffer between data, the bare minimum of a buffer between data and obviously to me the worst thing you can do is send it directly to where you live. So that's a whole thing there. You're trying to do a buffer zone for that because most hackers will not go the extra mile. Hence the phishing attempts and the spear phishing attempts in order to get more data and actual concrete assets out of you. The second thing, which is kind of obvious, is, and here's another problem with reusing emails. A lot of people who buy these, though I'll go back to the other page, who buy these wallets will often use their emails to also do crypto exchanges. And unfortunately, people have a bad habit where they dump a lot of their cryptocurrency into their exchange. And as we covered when we were talking about how to create your own cold storage wallets for free and not have to buy a Ledger or Trezor, um, even if whether you have one of those or you make one yourself, you should probably be not putting too much crypto on there. You should be really locking down your wallet. Not necessarily the cold storage wallet. That's where you'd probably want to put most of your coins. Most default wallets honestly should be fine, but for the extra storage, you can have it basically put on your cold storage wallet, whether it's a VM on your system or ideally a separate physical hardware stick or external hard drive. But when you do exchanges, only do the minimum amount that you need to send as well as the transfer fee. Don't like dump half of your cryptocurrency of whatever it is onto the exchange, because if you're using, and you should be again using a separate email for your exchange as you do buying the wallet, but if they're the same email and people got this information, they will be able to log into your exchange. They'll just try all of them: Stack Exchange, Coin Exchange, Coin Bureau, and stuff, CoinGecko, and then they have access to those online wallets and then pull everything out of it. So if you only have like a couple of satoshis in an online exchange, that's one thing. If you have half of your Bitcoin on that, you have essentially lost a ton of Bitcoin. That's just some of the things. If you want a really awesome rundown, again, Coin Bureau has a really, it's like 20 plus minutes long video about how to properly secure yourself on here. And again, before we get to our main topic today, and I also want to mention, once again, I do have a rendezvous with some friends of mine. So, and I realize my little video capture device window needs to be, there we go. That's the unsightly line. That's what she said. But no, I do have rendezvous with friends, so this is going to be mostly a quick episode, kind of like last time. I promise, which we'll talk to beginning next month into the year. We are going to have, we're going to go full length, like 2 to 3, possibly 5 hours for some subjects, because we're going to be dealing with a lot of coding and math and a lot of blockchain. I'm not even kidding. It's going to be ridiculous. I'm actually going to tell you the first. I'm going to tell you the first definite thing we're going to do next month, and then what we might do, because it's 2 episodes a month when we get to it at the end. Also to note for everyone on D Live, by the way, if you're watching on D Live or The Live, at at I would say around 9:20, like 9:10, 9:20, I'll make announcement beforehand. We will give out a bunch of lemons in our treasure chest. Again, if you want to send us lemons, we appreciate that. But we try to build up a nice mass amount of lemons, and then which is basically kind of like the way Twitch bits work. It's like a type of, not cryptocurrency, but it's a token type currency that we then like to give back to the community on, because we think it's really cool. If again you want to donate to the charity that we're running for helping sick debilitated kids who have various illnesses and injuries, and it's 2020, come on, who doesn't have one, especially for children. We want to make the beginning of their 2021 bigger, so if you want to be Hacker Santa Claus, you could send $50 would be amazing, but like $1, $3, $5 at the link that I just put into chat, or if you're on Twitch, you can scroll over and click that donation button. It's handled through Tiltify. We don't touch any of the money because they're actual 501c3, and we're trying to make $300 by the end of New Year's Day, but if we somehow don't make that, perfectly fine. All the money still goes to the sick kids anyhow. Again, if you also have any questions about the Ledger Wallet hack, or you have something to say, or questions about where the hell all of my crazy hair went from the previous episodes, while I'm wearing a physical blockchain and all that stuff, you can ask questions and comments and everything in chat. Otherwise, keep lurking and keep learning. You can also hit that follow, like, share, and bell on Twitch, D Live, and YouTube, as well as Hi Out There, Crazy People on Facebook and Tor. We get notifications for when you follow us or subscribe to us or donate, especially to the Child's Play, and I like to cheer people on for that, so it's all cool. So, let's get into our main topic now that we got the big Ledger news out of the way. And this is, oh boy, so let's actually go back to the face camera a bit. Let's go back to the faces. So the original title for this, which I kind of kept, is Holy Cryptocurrencies. And that is because we've reached a stage with blockchain and technologies and various cryptocurrencies and altcoins and shitcoins that how do you put it bluntly? We basically cryptocurrency and blockchain technology, whether you like to or not, is all over the web and is all part of the human experience. And we're going to cover even more next year, but we there's blockchain that's used in art. There is video games that use their own cryptocurrencies. There are activist organizations, cool hacks, data scientists, entrepreneurs, foodies, transportation, electricity. Runs all sorts of gambit on this stuff. But possibly the most shocking category that has a healthy amount of cryptocurrency and blockchain technologies, as well as just I don't even know how to exist, so I don't even know how to quite say it, so I'm just going to say porn definitely, although porn has had a hard time getting off the ground with cryptocurrency. One, because welcome to a more field that is shadier than it. And two is that there has not been like a one coin to rule them all outside of like Verge tried to do that, but like mainly Bitcoin. And honestly, porn should really adopt a Monero, like for real. We covered Monero back in one of our October things about it, came from the dark web, as well as our September episode about privacy cryptocurrencies. And because of its low CPU, GPU usage and privacy tech and stuff, they should really be using Monero for this. Although I understand possibly for transparency they wanted to use Bitcoin, but there has been altcoins for porn that unfortunately have never got off the ground because it's like kind of interest for a couple of days and then it just falls like a stone. But the one that's actually had a prolonged effect on here is the opposite, yet part of the same coin as porn, religion. Yes, there are cryptocurrencies and blockchain technologies that are entirely based around religion. Whether you are praying to one god or multiple gods or, the flying spaghetti monster or whatever. Again, it's kind of like, yes, Beidun. It's kind of like, is this the next Bitcoin? I have no idea, to be honest. This kind of looks like a spam link here. I'm going to leave it up there, but I'm not going to click on it. Again, beware of links that you just randomly get on the internet. So just a note, if you're going to visit that at your own risk. I would suggest running up a VM and a base version of Firefox with maybe some plugins on there and then see what the link is like. I'm not going to launch it here right now just because, but like I don't think, unless there's a new spam thing that's come up, I'm not going to block that. But just note that just beware of stuff. But we need to get back on topic here. So yeah, there are religious cryptocurrencies out there based on different world religions. And it's very perplexing, and it's a very crazy world, and there's a bunch actually out there. But I'm going to do some highlights, whether it's because they are shockingly stable, or who's this is spit out here, shockingly stable, or they are unique, or they really exemplify the religion they're part of. And I really want to say the most weird, but all of them are just really, really weird. Like I brought this up before. I've been preparing this episode for like the past 3 months, and everyone I've talked to this about is like, huh, duh, blah. So bad spam, don't click. Thank you. I don't know if you mean spam the hacker or like spam in a can or that link, but that's fine. So, without further ado, and also just to remind, because this will help the channel along again, that's the donation link for the Child's Play charity we're doing. Let's just get into this crazy rabbit hole of cryptocurrency religions, starting off with Buddhism. Now, as you can tell with this Wayback Machine, this is no longer functional, but I remember this being a big thing that's not my thing a couple of years ago. And basically, there was this thing called the Lodos Network, literally at the URL, which doesn't function anymore, lodos.network. And it got all over the cryptocurrency news because it was literally not just cryptocurrency, but a blockchain platform for Buddhism, Buddhist ideas, and basically using cryptocurrency itself to encourage to be a better Buddhist. Yeah, this was a thing. They actually had a freaking what's that thing called? They had a what's that program that everyone uses that I hate in business? No, not Microsoft Visual Studios. It's the thing that we keep wanting to not do. Slack. They had a Slack for this, and I was in the Slack for that. So let's pull them up by their Slacks and begin. As it says right here, rethinking religion. decentralized religion, a complete Buddhist and secular meditation ecosystem on the Ethereum blockchain. Now, note, this was probably a scam, and like we covered last episode when we're talking about scams, I believe I think there was eventually a white paper for this, but there definitely wasn't any code for this. So even if there was kind of a vague white paper, the fact that we couldn't even look at some preliminary code for this was basically more of like a concept pitch than any sort of code. Don't worry, we're going to be getting into shockingly a lot of code tonight with the last one we're going to cover. We're just getting these ones out of the way. But let's read here. They wrote, Buddha envisions a new society where student-teacher communities and egalitarian government. If I remember correctly, I think this was like written by people in Malaysia, which kind of gives a bit of perspective or something like that. It was in like a South Asian market that this came up with. Yeah, they did have a white paper. I don't know if we can load it. I'm going to attempt to load it in a different tab. Let's see if anything even comes up for this. I'll be shocked and or happy if anything on the Wayback Machine. Okay, so everything is crossed out for no reason, but it does load up. So there was an extensive, crazy white paper for this, and I'm not going to go through the whole thing just because it take a lot of time. So again, this was based on Ethereum. So we can buy and sell cyber indulgences to offset our sins for running Slack. I don't think you can use any sort of financial and or spiritual system to wash off the sin of Slack. I would actually argue that Slack, in terms of Christian terminology, is in particularly Roman Catholic terminology, is the original sin of one of the modern original sins of the internet that you need to be like rebaptized for with open source software. There's a bunch of others, but we're not going to get into those. That we'll save that for the New Year's show. So here's what they want to solve with the blockchain. One is, which is very prevalent in Southeast Asia, is corruption. As we have talked about before, and again, these are not necessarily bad ideas. They're just weird, and of course, this thing never got off the ground. Save crypto for Jesus for December 2021. Wait till you get to the end here. You're going to die. Spoiler. Which is that in Southeast Asia, very much like we have in the West, there are a lot of bootleg monks or monks that aren't monks, or there's been Buddhist monasteries that have been secretly drug dens or money laundering places and things like that. So what they're figuring is that by using the inherent nature of the way blockchain is set up, they will have something verifiable to account for these monasteries, and basically you can weed out which are the corrupt ones and which aren't. This is not foolproof, however, as we've gone over last time with the hacks and scams of how you can actually affect and alter blockchains, especially with weak security. They also want to feed into something that actually very much exists, particularly in East Asia, except for India. Buddhism is really weird because it was invented in India, but it's now a minority religion in India. I think there's more Sikhs in India than there are there's more Jews in India than there are Buddhism, and that says a lot. Buddhism is basically popular everywhere else except the country it was born in, so go figure. But there is basically what's known as a Buddhist economy, because there's a whole sort of like internal external ranking system to some degree that you're not supposed to show pride in, and this will allow people, as they wrote, an alternative to corporate capitalism, so we can get away from physical stuff and instead focus on like a pure ethereal thing that has no physical holdings. Um, Also, anonymity for religious persecution, which is another big thing in a lot of countries. This is real stuff. So again, I'm not faulting them for these ideas because these are actual things. I particularly know that Burma, there's been documentaries about this. The Burmese government really cracks down on basically the Buddhist monks there are the freedom fighters, and they light themselves on fire and they gather around protests, and a lot of people have been slaughtered to the point where where the Burmese government, despite being Southeast Asian and to some degree Buddhist, if you seem like you're just like a Buddhist, they'll actually spy on you and go after you. It's gotten that bad. And also to use internal uh, governance, which ironically, hilariously enough, is called DAO. It's like we're mixing two religious concepts together. And the main tokens that they were going to use to back this is called literally karma tokens, based on the Ethereum 20 blockchain. It was going to be the sole medium of exchanging on the Lotus network. The Lotus network is the blockchain itself, and you'd be able to essentially mine to get karma, and then you can trade that internally. And again, their philosophy here is that because the coin is not a physical object, it's not gold, it's not robes or something, this is something where they can describe things with value without truly giving them value. Think of like an arcade token, or like one of those like plastic sticker stars you get in kindergarten, something like that. Now, here's where things get crazy if I remember this. How do you generate karma tokens? Well, first of all, they go through kind of like the temples, which are kind of like the main nodes all bounded on a smart contract. So the idea was that each node corresponds to a physical temple that actually exists. Uh, and you have two different levels here. You have the students, which are basically the people that like own and maintain the wallets. They would be considered the main consumers. And man, I have to get some better lighting in here. And then you have the teachers, which are the people who maintain these master nodes. And you'll be able to and they would be able to basically the students would be able to get knowledge from teachers, and they would give karma tokens to the teachers who would be able to then convert this into, for example, real money, or just be happy for it and either earn a living or prove that they're actual Buddhist monks with proper etiquette and recruiting. Now, the crazy part somewhere down here is how you actually mine. Now, at the time, I was like, how the fuck do you do this? But honestly, with today's tech, especially in 2020 with Elon Musk pigs and stuff, this would actually be doable. But first of all, let's sip for that insane image. Second of all, their general idea for this would be that you would use either one of two systems. A basic system that's based on time interfacing with a teacher. So the longer you engage in the conversation and stuff with the teacher, the more you mine. Basically, it's an odd kind of time stake version of proof of stake. The more complicated one, what's the sound of one crypto sucker face palming? Um, that's called Tron token. So, the other more advanced way, which I don't know if it's on here, but it's hilarious. Let's see if we could click some of these pluses. Let's see. Dedicated touchscreen, a little pad here to meditate. And here's the thing, a little table stand that's basic, is using biofeedback equipment that you would be able to buy, or for nations like Burma to be handed out to the public who are all classified as Buddhists or want to be Buddhists. And essentially, it will be able to tell when your neurology is in a meditative state, and will start the mining process. This is going to be important because the last coin we're going to cover here has kind of a similar system, but ironically, I think this is more realistic than the last one, even though the last one is an actual real thing, because this thing that passes this, I'll take bullshit mining for 100 ounces. Yes, that's what I was thinking too. And the sad part is, it would still be considered bullshit mining today, especially again, they have a white paper, good for them. No example code whatsoever. Not even like a base thing or a proof of concept. Doesn't even have to work. Just put some sort of code. Again, this is more of a pitch than an actual substance. But today, I could see this tech working. I mean, kind of spoilers for next year with DEF CON 201 meetings. We do have a guy, he's amazing online, who hooks up living mushrooms to biomechanical feedback machines, and the mushrooms DJ music. Like, and he does it for really cheap. He has a couple of clips, and the most expensive thing is he's using existing music mixers, but you can easily plug that into just general USB ports and get the data feedback. And there's a lot of open source programs for that now. It wasn't back when this was pitched in like 2017, 2018, but you could actually kind of do this now. It's still very bullshitty though. That's why, again, probably didn't go off the ground because it was probably a scam, or maybe it was real and they ran out of money. Who knows? But yeah, there was also supposed to be a web and visual interface for this. So you'd be able to like search for teachers and classes and do that. And then when you meditate and learn lessons, it would generate karma tokens. And then you can either take those and just hold them to show, hey, this is how much I've been meditating in X karma tokens, or give them back to your teachers and thus fulfill these sort of literal karma Buddhist economy going on. And of course, they're here. They have a white paper. Okay, so they had the white paper. The thing that they failed next, see, this would have been the code, would be the Ethereum testnet. This is actually a decent outline, by the way. Then you do a feasibility study, because after the testnet, you get some data. You see if this actually is going to work or not. Then if you know it's going to work and you just need like more stuff to get it more polished, you do the crowdfunding, and then you do a minimal viable products as the end thing, and then you want to build up to a certain amount of users. In this case, they wanted to build up to 10,000 users, and again, they had a Medium, a Reddit, and a Slack. I think the Slack is around, but no one posts to it. The Medium, I think, still around. I think the Reddit's dead. And then there's like a team of like kind of just whitish people. And then there was like a FAQ down here. So yes. So as I said, the first thing we covered is this crazy ass Buddhist based technology where you meditate and you literally earn karma as actual Ethereum tokens on the Ethereum chain. and you're able to trade them in as sort of an object. Basically, this is kind of a more scammy version of what was the actual real, as we covered 2 episodes ago in November, the Mazda coin, which actually had a activist impact of trying to get Native Americans actual currency because, you know, they're not allowed to do that and it's more of sovereign independence. Again, toilet paper counts as white paper, yes, especially in the White House, especially if it's signed by Donald Trump. So, here's the thing. Once again, to remind, we are currently raising money for Child's Play, like actual fiat money. Sadly, you can't donate cryptocurrency to that, but there's the link where you can donate. If you're on Twitch, you can scroll, click a widget, donate directly. And I think we're gonna go on for like a half hour more, and then we'll wrap this up. And this is gonna go like if you want to be Hacker Santa and you want to give cool toys and medical assistive equipment to sick kids in hospitals, whether they mentally or physically disabled, injured, ill, etc. You can go do that. Every money counts. Every bit of fiat money counts. If we're like $86 by January 2nd, the day after New Year's Day, all that money through Tiltify 50C3 will go directly to sick kids. So you want to donate $1 or $5, or you want to go batshit crazy and donate $20 to $50, go right ahead for it. It's for a really good cause. Again, also, if you have any questions so far about what I've been talking about with this crazy Buddhist coin platform, where you still have questions about the ledger leak and hack, please let me know in chat. Otherwise, keep lurking, keep learning. So moving on, we're going to cover 2 quick things, and then we're going to go into the main thing. Now, this next thing, if there is a certain Neo in the house, have you ever seen that meme, chat, where the 4chan drawing person face palms so hard that their hand goes through their face out the back of their head? If Neo is watching right now, or if he's watching later on the live stream, Neo is a member, XIO, who has gone to our meetings and is a good friend of mine. This is where he's going to suffer cardiac arrest, and it's going to be so bad he's probably going to do mikvah, because I think he knows what's coming next, because where there is cryptocurrency, ergo where there's money, there will be Jews. Jews and Jew adjacents will show up. Shocked Pikachu face. But that's not all. A while ago, this happened. Let's see if I can find it here. Here we go. This happened.
כל הזמן על הביטקוין, אבל בעצם יש מאות, אם לא יותר מזה אפילו, של מטבעות דיגיטליים שכאלה. חלקם זאת רמאות, נוכלות מוחלטת, וחלקם לגיטימיים לגמרי. והנה, לתוך הזירה העמוסה הזאת נוסף מטבע חדש מתחרה לביטקוין, הביטקוין. זאת לא בדיחה. זה באמת מטבע דיגיטלי חדש עם טכנולוגיה מפותחת, הוא יהודי, והמטבע הזה, הביטקוין, ועידו וולפוביץ' יספר לנו עכשיו מעשייה יהודית טובה על מטבע כשר.
אם אתם אוהבים לעשות שופינג בחנויות יודאיקה, או סתם לערוך את הקניות שלכם בהיפר כשר, תכירו את הביטקוין.
Bitcoin, the first token that complies with Jewish law, incorporated itself all the pros of the digital world.
מאחורי היוזמה שמבדילה אותנו משאר העמים הלא נבחרים, עומדים קבוצה של יזמים יהודים מרוסיה שהבינו שהראש היהודי יודע לעשות כסף, וזו הזדמנות נהדרת להקים קהילה ולהשאיר את הכסף בתוך עמנו.
We wanted to unite the Jewish community all over the world. There was a need to help their businesses oriented for Jewish community, and also there is a big culture of charity.
ביטקוין הוא אמנם לא המטבע היחידי שמחבר בין קהילות, יש את הצמחונים, את הסטודנטים ואפילו את התל אביבים, אבל זאת הפעם הראשונה שדת מקבלת מטבע משל עצמה, ועוד מבלי שנאלצה לרדת מצרימה ולעבוד קשה בשביל זה.
בעצם אותם יזמים שקוראים לנו להשקיע את הכסף באותם מטבעות וירטואליים חדשים, מציגים את זה כסוג של מועדון חברים, בוא תשים את הכסף בשלב הראשוני, נבטיח לך שמתישהו, אולי, אם וכאשר, תקבל משהו בתמורה לזה.
אם אתם עדיין לא מבינים למה צריך את הביטקוין, מלבד כמובן העובדה שבאתם בברית אברהם אבינו, הנה ההסבר.
Our advantage, first of all, is speed. It is 25,000 transactions per second. Also, transactions are free, and its algorithm is protected from spam and mistakes.
ברור שזה לא לכל אחד, רק לאנשים שמבינים מה הם עושים, מוכנים לעלות על רכבת הערים הזאת, אחרת יש חשש מצד הרבה מאוד אנשים שבסופו של דבר מדובר בבועה, אפילו בהונאת פירמידה.
ואחרי ששמעתם את הטיעונים בעד ונגד, ואתם עדיין רוצים להיבדל משאר העמים או סתם חנוכיה בהנחה, זה הזמן לקנות את הביטקוין.
So, yes, no one is safe from the blockchain technologies. So, yes, Bitcoin was a thing. It's a very interesting story we're going to get into, but to reiterate what kind of the video said, if you didn't understood angry Yiddish as a Neo potentially dies in chat right now and gets his wings, Bitcoin, not to be confused with Bitcoin, because a lot of times when you type in Bitcoin, and it sounds, if you say it fast, Bitcoin, it's like a Yiddish nasally version of Bitcoin, like Bitcoin, you know, like that. You often get Bitcoin stuff, so it gets very confusing. Yes, you can donate to the charity link here. So if you want to help the shekels to pay for Neo's funeral costs after that, and remember, Jewish funerals, especially in this climate, is very expensive, very expensive. You could donate directly to Child's Play and help out a bunch of sick kids, because, you know, when an old man dies, you need to have a bunch of sick kids. So Bitcoin was designed as the Jewish cryptocurrency, which is not to be confused with the Jewish conspiracy, because I'm pretty sure, and we're going to get into that in a bit, this did not help the whole Jews own the world, giant owning banking nose thing. So Bitcoin here meets the Jewish law. Keep that in mind, because we're going to revisit that. Is independent from other blockchains. By the way, note, if I remember correctly, these were set up by Eastern European Jews. They had a lot of financing from companies in Israel, but it's mainly, hence the blockchain, not B-O-L-C-K, block, but block, which I'm familiar with because I'm half Polish. That is the Soviet Union way of oppressive spelling sounds. Impossible to counterfeit? We shall see, because we know about the scam episode, and cannot be identified. Also, we shall see, because I think they might have a paper somewhere. Also, partner. It's old version of the website, probably didn't load properly. They had their own video here. I don't even know if that loads anymore. They do have a white paper and a presentation. Bitcoin, abbreviated Ben. Good old Uncle Ben. Or like, what, Ben from like, there was that Marvel character that's Jewish. The Thing! Yeah, the Thing from Fantastic Four. His name is Ben. The first kosher official cryptocurrency token, business platform and system of services created for interaction between representatives of the community and around the world. You have a Bitcoin wallet, a loyalty program, a payment system, a Bitcoin platform, a marketplace, an advertising platform, mother's, your mother's Seder, all of that in there. And I don't know if we can expand this anymore because of programming stuff. But yes, there was a dedicated wallet, and there was a whole GitHub thing for this. There was a whole loyalty program. I want to read the sense of the loyalty programs. It's great. Valid for Jewish communities around the world paying a retail outlets using Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies or fiat money. You get Bitcoin points, which can be spent wherever Bitcoin is accepted as a payment. Validity of accrued bens isn't limited. The Bitcoin loyalty program does not limit the other accumulated points. Basically, this was Apple Pay before it was Apple Pay. I wouldn't be surprised if a bunch of Jews on here migrated to working for Apple and then came up with the Apple Card. Payment online system. Crypto tool Bitcoin allows you to pay for purchases, carry out settlements, pay for services, and sell your daughter into marriage. I mean, donate for charity, I'm sorry. Any offline and online payment systems that is convenient use of Bitcoin in everyday life, such as donating your daughter for marriage. I mean, paying off bagels. Okay. There's an assistive platform for Jewish businesses, Bitcoin AVD. The advertising platform, Bitcoin ADV. Does business partners and other systems to get new users or services, attracting them to products within the marketplace, capital M, capital P, as well as its partners and online resources. The specifics of this platform and targeting an audience of the representatives of the Jewish community. Let's see, this is 2018? So Weinstein and Epstein would have been a part of this, but I'm pretty sure they would have been kicked out shortly after that. In this case, we combine partners of Bitcoin into a single ad network for which they can make profits. But this sounds a lot like Brave Browser without the browser. Making profit by selling traffic to other partners or customers, get new customers, but without advertising expense. This really sounds like a weird deal that's made like at the end of like Purim when everyone's drunk. And this was all crazy stuff. So why am I bringing this up? Well, first of all, the Jews. And you can see some of the Eastern European there. I think it's primarily Russian, this language here. But this is an interesting story because to ask like that whole question of like what makes tonight different from every other night. So here's the question about this: why am I bringing up Bitcoin if it's only for Jews? What makes this special? Is it relative now? Does anyone know why I'm bringing this up? Also, look at these last names here. Dear Lord. Andrivny Kaliv. Oh boy. Rostislav Chasiz. Boy, Lord. That just sounds like a voter for Netanyahu, right? Right the hell right there. And I also love all like the token brown people who are the actual programmers on the project. But yeah, the reason why we're bringing this up is because there's a thing that I'll put it this way. There are stupid Jews, but there's enough Jewish people that eventually a smart one, at least one, male or female, will come by, smack a bunch of them upside the head and go, "What the hell was wrong with you? You're stupid and crazy. We're doing this the right way." And so that's what happened here. And there's a long history of the Jewish people and Semitic communities where they will initially make something that actually you can argue Christianity was like this in the worst possible way. They make something that's for themselves, and then later on, as they adapt to the community, and they put into that community and they give back. So even though they identify as Jewish, they also have merged into the rest of the populace. So, for example, there's a lot of Russian Jews who see themselves more as Russians than they do Jews. Even though they're very proud that they're Jews, they're also very much Russian. Same thing with American Jews, Israeli Jews, Beta Israels, all of them. And so that's what happened to Bitcoin. Because remember, this is the Wayback Machine. This is how it started. Jews only, Jewy Jew, dreidel songs, all sorts of stuff like that, right? Shekels and stuff. Which, by the way, really funny. Cyril found this. We accidentally found a shekel very recently. Actually, let me go to the full size camera for that, and then we'll flip back. We were looking through a bunch of coins that we had, and we actually, it's going to be very blurry, and I don't know if the light can see it, but we actually did find a shekel with the harp and everything on it. There's one half in the Hebrew and stuff, so that's kind of hilarious. By the way, just as a background, I'm not Jewish, I'm agnostic atheist, but I find this all funny. So, as we said, so this was Bitcoin back then. It's still around today. Here it is now. So as you can see here, it's gone from being the Jewish cryptocurrency, right, to being the opium for the masses. And now it is a platform that, while including Jews, is essentially a cryptocurrency network and marketplace for any minority market or underserved market. And this is how they've evolved and rebranded themselves. It's actually pretty healthy. It's gone up 2.72%. That's actually pretty good. It was like 1.58% while going up. You can see it has a lot of similar things. There's been 100 million Ben as of now and 6 active nodes, and the block height is decent. As you can see, they have a whole outline. See, now it's communities, not just Jewish. It's communities, customer, wallet, all of that. And you can see some of them here that they currently have. They have their Jewish community, Turkish, Russian, travelers, possible whole planet, and operations inside those communities. So it's like you take the internal stuff from the community and then you have a branch out that goes to the blockchain that then becomes available to the public and their partners. So as it says, when we started in 2017, Jewish community supported us, but as our blockchain has started, early adopters requested us to support them. That's why we spread our coin to Turkish and Russian communities and included them in our ecosystem. And they're going to do travelers by next year because I guess COVID delayed everything. So what I find interesting, as opposed to the Lotus coin, which kind of just got announced and didn't go anywhere, first of all, there is they have a GitHub and some hardware wallets and that we'll look at real quick and things like that. But what makes them so fascinating is that they started off as a very, very made in JavaScript, as you do, very specific thing. Bitcoin, it's for the Jews, and expanded it out to include multiple other groups and everyone. Maybe it was for survival, maybe it was kindness of their heart, maybe it's because of greed. Who knows? But I think that's a very interesting story, how you can literally start off as one very specific market and then evolve to a more broader market. Now, this one's going to be really quick. We're going to cover this. Let's go to their spiritual cousins, because not to be left out with a similar system is this group called ADAB Solutions. I had to practice saying that because my brain reads it so fast. Instead of reading it ADAB or ADAB, I keep reading it as ACAB, which I'm not going to say what it is on air, but go on DuckDuckGo and look up ACAB. You know what that means. I wanted to make sure I didn't say that on air, but they're developing a coin called FICE and a platform called First Islamic Crypto Exchange. And the concept here, and I don't know if this is a sham. It feels like a sham because it's been in development for like a year or two and hasn't really gone anywhere. Let's go over to their Twitter here where they talk about it. Today we will talk about the draft of the First Islamic Crypto Exchange, FICE, the world's first crypto exchange that works in full accordance with principles of Islamic finance. Oh boy, this is a whole topic. This technology project opens the market with innovative offers for traders. We are the first cryptocurrency exchange that operates according to Islamic financial standards, like all other crypto exchanges. We offer the opportunity to trade with various crypto assets, but only those that have been scored for compliance with Islamic financial standards. Along with trading, new and innovative services will be available to our exchange users. I'm just checking to make sure the volume's good. Yes, it is. Will be available to our exchange users, such as TSS, copy trading, rating system, and very attractive referral programs. Read more about this in the following articles on the series. And to kind of, I guess, explain it a bit better while I go get water, here's the Sharia czar of the platform talking about his view real quick and how all of this works.
Assalamu alaikum, peace be upon you all. This is Mufti Faraz Adam. I'm the Internal Sharia Compliance Officer at Adab Solutions. I just want to give you a quick review peek into what I've been doing at Adab Solutions, and that is I have been analyzing and reviewing the Adab ICO as well as the token from a Sharia compliance perspective, and I've been writing a small article on why the Adab ICO and Adab token are Sharia compliant, and why investors can be rest assured that this investment is Sharia compliant. So this article will explain everything, that why the ICO, which is a fundraising mechanism, and also an investment, a purchase of Adab tokens, why that is Sharia compliant. It fulfills the principles of Sharia. Likewise, why the Adab token in and of itself fulfills the principles of Sharia, that why this token is compliant. So this paper will be released, inshallah, God willing. And likewise, I'd like to also let the viewers know that we are working hard to develop a framework, a screening criteria to ensure that whichever investment opportunity, project or token that is exchanged on the First Islamic Crypto Exchange, the FICE, that it will be Sharia compliant. So we are developing a framework to ensure this. We are liaising and discussing with many Sharia scholars, Muslim scholars from across the world, and hopefully very soon we'll have a Sharia supervisory board in place who I will be liaising with and discussing this with in detail. So there are great exciting things to come, inshallah, at Adab Solutions. Stay tuned, keep following the news on different platforms, and last but not least, ensure you support this project and spread the word. Thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum, peace be upon you all.
First of all, looking at that guy, I feel very naked because I had a bit of peach fuzz and I shaved it just before I got on the stream. And just looking at him, I'm like, I'm very shaved, you know? Rocking that Mecca beard right there. What are we getting into on this? But yeah. Quick thing about Sharia here. Basically, In the same way, there's kind of, this is probably a misnomer, but like kosher, I believe, is part of Jewish law. Basically, it's like the standards being held, and I think mainly kosher. It's supposed to be a way of life, but a lot of people simplify it to like form of food. Sharia basically stands for Islamic law, and it's the religious laws that perform part of Islamic tradition. And there's like a whole section, if I can find it somewhere. Let's see. It's the School of Law, courts, systems, different hot button topics. But there is normally an entire thing here about finances. In fact, one of the things which I'm not even going to bring up here is, and I forget the term, but there's like 5 pillars of Islam that are the core of the religion. And from what I understand, one of them is an entire thing about giving your money to the poor. So it's an entire taxation system for Muslims to give to the poor. They're also obsessed with taxes on non-Muslims and when to donate money and how to donate money and all of this stuff. And that's what they're probably talking about with this cryptocurrency that they're making called FICE and the platform, where it's essentially going to be cryptocurrency that applies to Sharia law. Now, before we move on to the meat and potatoes of the subject, I actually want to search up something because I did search for a lot of different religious things and I couldn't find either certain cryptocurrencies for certain religions or they didn't make the cut, but there's one I actually didn't look for, so let's search for it right now. I do not know what Scientology is doing cryptocurrency. I've heard that they are in it, but I don't know what they're doing. So I see a link here. Hopefully this is not going to be like malware or something, as we're about to find out. Scientology Money Project, a dedicated news site investing in Scientology money, crime, legal matters. Let's see. I only see 2 things here. So yeah, I'll have to go look separately, but I swore there was like cryptocurrency involved with Scientology, but I guess not. So let's get into the main event here. This is what actually started off this whole idea of doing crypto religious currencies, because originally, before I found these others like Bitcoin and the Abdab people and even Lodos that I almost forgot about, I was going to do an entire episode just based on this. As you've noticed, we've covered Jews, Arabs, Buddhists. While there's a couple of religions, a minority and not, that we might have left out, there's a really big group, a very important group, sadly, especially in America, that's often on the news and is really impermeated into our culture, that even if you're not part of this religion, the most extreme stuff in there are still a part of a lot of general core American beliefs. And here comes the INCENT reward. And so I'm like, what religion are we currently leaving out, Chad? There's a big one. It's very popular in America. Over 70% of people, as a conservative estimate, pun semi-intended, are a part of some aspect of this religion. And yes, they do have a cryptocurrency. They actually have a couple. But none of them could be more weird and more amazing than Bible Pay. Yep, I said it. Bible Pay. Let that word sink in. Those 2 words. Bible Pay, as you get your INCENT reward over here. The Bible. The big book. The New Testament and the Old Testament. And the Jesus and the crucifixion and the a cryptocurrency. As they write here, a charity Christian cryptocurrency. What? Just what? What? I don't even kind of know where to begin. We're gonna try. They also they have their own GitHub here, and we're gonna look into some of these programs in a moment. By the way, if you are on Twitch, you can scroll down, and we have our GitHub linked up. And you can actually, we have the legacy one fork because we're going to bring up a very interesting thing we found out about their GitHub in a moment. But you can click on that and it'll open it and you can look at the same stuff that I'm looking at here, which I'm still kind of confused about what I'm looking at here. What the heck is this thing? Like, what is it? What is it? What am I looking at? Okay, let's go back to the main website. This is obviously a cryptocurrency for Christians. Its main goal, it seems, is basically not only to be a Christian anarchist way of doing finance, but its primary thing is similar to a coin that we covered in our second episode that we are still taking money for helping COVID. That's a real coin with real impact called Pinkcoin. If you remember, Pinkcoin isn't like an activist cryptocurrency where not only part of the stuff that you mine and hash, that money is donated to different charities, but you can also target specific charity things. Like for us, we've been collecting Pinkcoin to donate to the World Health Organization to help not only people who are sick with COVID and COVID prevention, but some of the big fallouts from COVID, such as lower income people and even middle income people who have lost all of their money trying to fight off COVID and the economic impact. I mean, I'm currently out of work even though I have a job and stuff like that. Great, great group, legit cryptocurrency. Not to say this is not legit, because that's the other confusing part. We'll get there. But their idea here is that they want to use a percent to help different charities. They want to, it's the whole Christian thing of trying to give back. So one of their main goals here is that they partnered with a bunch of Christian charities such as the Compassion Project, Bloom, the Beloved Orphan Outreach Missions, the Cameroon One, which I guess is based in Cameroon, RuPaul's Drag Race joke, and the Karis Children's Fund that has a very weird logo. And they also link to the accountability for the different Bible Pay charities here, apparently, under this thing. By the way, this is the internal web document that's in the wallet. We're going to more explore this further, but yeah, I just wanted to kind of bring that up there. And so basically you can mine either dedicatedly or overall, and you can donate to certain, basically a chunk of the Bible Pay goes to different charities such as orphans and starving kids. There's a lot of kids stuff and particularly things like that. There's also a similar way, which we're going to look up, of how you can do it for cancer research. Basically, similar to that second episode, if you all remember Gridcoin, in which you can use the Bionic network, and when you mine stuff, for example, like the COVID protein folding that we did on the second episode, Crypto Barons, you got a certain amount of Gridcoin. So basically, the more you helped for the cure of COVID, which did help, you actually got some monetary reward back. See, what's the mining profitability on the religion coins? Bitcoin, as we saw, was kind of decent as like a 0.02 point something whatever percent. It was like doing okay, especially for an altcoin. This I think is doing well, but we will check that in a moment. There's going to be a thing about mining, which you're going to get to, and then the funny part, which we'll also get into later, is obviously, in addition for charity, there's nothing more that Christians love to do than spreading the gospel. And we're gonna get into how they do that in a moment, but it's insane. And they have wallets for every single client. There's a Windows one which we're gonna look at. There's one for Apple, different ones for different Linux operating systems, Android on the Android store, and the Apple Store also hosts this. And they're also traded on CoinMarketCap, CoinGecko, South Exchange, Tokok, and BullX. And actually, because it's my favorite, let's click on CoinGecko and see how it's doing. It seems like it's doing positive. That's the weird thing, is it normally does positive overall. I mean, those are a lot of zeros, but trust me, for a shitcoin, maybe not as good as Bitcoin, so I guess the Jews have the advantage here. Sneaky Jews. I'm just kidding. For real. But yeah, this and that green 3% positive. Actually, it's a little bit over the 2.7% that Bitcoin has. It's actually doing better. But yeah, they're doing well. Again, it's religion. Like, what do you think? And that's the weirdest part, honestly, about this entire coin, different social media networks, is that, to their credit, what's so weird, and we're going to get into this is to me kind of like Dogecoin without any of the irony. And I mean that honestly, and to some degree, a very positive way. What I mean is how, for anyone who knows the history of Dogecoin, Dogecoin was one of the very early cryptocurrencies. It was literally created out of a joke. It was based on the meme called the Doge meme. It's about a Chibi Iwa dog that looked weird, who sadly passed away either a couple of months or a couple of years ago. But so many people actively invested in the joke coin that it actually gained real money value and became a real coin. This would be Dogecoin if it was intentional. This, and we're going to look into this. This sounds like a joke. I have a lot of Christian friends I inform this who never heard of this or heard it vaguely but thought that was like a meme or something, who laugh at this. Rightfully so, to be honest. But what's amazing is, much like a lot of other religious and crypto and Christian things, that it it sounds stupid, to be honest, but it's executed extremely well. As you saw there, it has a positive network and holds on to its positive network. It gets invested in a ton. The charities actually have listed a good percentage amount of their stuff coming in. I think between like 2% to 11% of their like funds for different charity efforts come directly from this coin. It's absolutely ridiculous, and it's actually coded extremely well, and it's thought out really well, and you're just like, basically, this is so much of an effort that even this is not a joke. This was not done as a joke. No one puts this much effort into something humorous. So like, that's what makes this to me the most bizarre. It's not that it's a, a about based on the Bible and Christianity. It's not even, that and kind of the images, and it's called frickin' Bible Pay. It's the fact that, laugh all you want, this is an actual legit altcoin. This is a legit coin that has actual value and that has program and advanced security research and stuff on it. That's what makes it nuts. Or to put it in perspective, I guess, there's the old saying that Jews reportedly own Hollywood or the media, but Christians own the marketing. Jews might be involved in finance, but they might own the banks, but the Christians own the actual finance. It reminds me of what Chris Rock said about the difference between being rich and wealthy, where he's like, LeBron James is rich, the white guy who signs his checks is wealthy, and that's like the difference. It's kind of similar here, in my opinion. Again, Bitcoin had to expand out to other fields in order to stable. This has been kept as Christians and the Bible and Jesus, and has been completely stable just doing that. Doing charity, doing crypto, while spreading the gospel using advanced mining techniques. So let's look at it further. If this is going to be serious, we're going to look at it serious. So here's some of the overall technical details here, and they have an entire white paper that actually has pictures and stuff that we're not going into. We're going to get into its algorithm in a moment. It's a CPU-only coin. From what I understand, this went through 2 different forks. I think they were on one coin system and then switched to the other. We're going to get that in a moment. It was launched July 23rd, 2017. From as I understand, there's not a actual significant, because a lot of times Christians try to time things to like Jesus' birthday and this saint's date. From what I understand, July 23rd, there's no special thing. That's just when it launched. There was no premiere. There was no ICO for it. They're on track for having 5.2 billion of these BBPs or Bible Pays in 2050, provided that we actually live that long, or this project even lives that long. The estimation rate is that emission rate is a negative 1.5% every month. Not too bad, because I think Bitcoin is like 8%. And the block time is 7 minutes per block, and I can attest to that. When I synced to this, even though the chain is decently sized, they're using like this weird compression algorithm, if I remember correctly, where the chain, I think, synced within 8 minutes. That's honestly really impressive, especially for modern blockchain. And right now, there is a master node, and we're going to get into that, of 4,500,001 Bible Pays. The block reward method goes to 8.75% of the percentage of nodes go to the monthly budget. It's broken down there. Then 25% are put in and fed in through general smart contracts. I think we kind of covered smart contracts in a couple of earlier episodes, but we're going to do a deep dive into it early next year. And then there's a breakdown of all the charities and mining techniques. So let's look over and see something. Now, I want to point out something really interesting here. So it's primarily coded, or at least the wallet is coded in C++, right? Now, we managed to fork the legacy version, and there's a specific reason why we did that. Also, it's held under the MIT license, by the way, which is that I believe this was originally It was not on Ethereum. I believe this was originally a fork, which is probably why it's still partly compatible with Dash. However, what's funny is when we because we couldn't remember if we forked Bible Pay or not for everyone to look at on GitHub. So when we went to fork it, we got this notice which says you've already forked Bible Pay. But note, it's the repository. And remember, this is a legit coin, by the way. Is not DEFCON 201 / Bible Pay. It's DEFCON 201 / Maza, the coin that we covered the last time with the Native American cryptocurrency, which tells me that there is a link between the coding of Mazda Coin, the base platform for it, and no, it's also majorly programmed in C++, and what Bible Pay is, which is kind of ironic considering there's a long, sad history of Christians horrifically converting Native Americans from their ethnic religion and culture into bad, sad WASP values. So that's something we didn't know about until we were preparing for this episode. But yeah, it has all the setup here for the different stuff. It has a Docker image, it's different dependencies, all of that. And let's see here. Let's go into kind of a tour here about what it is. Let's see. So it's launch day. It's developed mainly by Robert Andrews. Its plural is Bible Pays. Let's see here. We're going to get into some stuff later. I'm trying to see if we can find where it was based or forked from. I'm not sure. I think it was forked from Bitcoin because I do know that Mazda is a very hacked version of Bitcoin. So it probably one of the early coins here, even though it's 2017. And it's forked. That's why it gets confused with Mazda. They're probably using the same base fork. Let's see what we can look into here. Uses generic smart contracts. That's something, again, we're gonna cover more smart contracts next year about what they are and how to set up, and you can do. I love this because I love the terminology they use here. Here's some of the RPC commands, which we'll get into, which is how do I create a CP key or a Christian public key pair? It has its own cryptography system that's, I think, based off of GPG. It's absolutely amazing. But as we said, we have these commands, so let's do something fun, folks, and we'll go on for like another 10-20 minutes here. And again, if anyone has any questions about what we're doing on the show or why I'm wearing a physical blockchain, what happened to all my hair, what the heck is this Bible Pay and all these other religious cryptocurrencies, ask your question in chat. If you want to say something, that's perfectly fine. Otherwise, keep lurking and keep learning here. But yeah, let's go to Bible Pay itself. Let's look around here. Let's turn off the browser and turn on the Bible Pay. So this is Bible Pay, and again, really impressive, to be honest, because this is really competent. You can open up different wallets and sign a verified message here. Hey, how you doing, Shoeblood 2020? I hope you had a great Christmas, holiday, first day of Kwanzaa, Hanukkah, Human Light, which I celebrate on the 23rd, whatever. And you can encrypt your wallet. You have all of your stuff here. You have your information tab here, which says what current version you're on, what the current block is, and you can open the debug log file on here. You have your console in which you can type commands, as we've shown off with things like Gridcoin and stuff like that. You can monitor the network traffic on here of how you're synced. You can see which and what peers you are connected to and click on them to get more detailed information. This is nuts. Like, a lot of Bitcoin wallets don't even have this. And if somehow you're out of sync and you can't fix it, you can do all sorts of repairs. You can salvage your wallet. You can rescan the blockchain files to make sure everything's verified. You have 2 techniques for recovering transactions: upgrade your wallet format or rebuild the entire index from scratch. Bam, that's a lot of features there. You can also submit proposals to the team for like ways to improve the actual, both the wallet service and the blockchain itself. There is a leaderboard that I don't know if we're able to load. Yes, to see who can actually, you can compete to, again, Christian genius here, probably evangelical, for how many nodes have you set up, who's been trading what and everything, and it lists all the usernames. It's like a video game scoreboard. You're ranked by campaign, nickname, your Christian little protocol here, what you're old. This is insane, right? Again, there's a whole web documentation down here. There's the help section, which opens that, but possibly my most favorite thing is there's a menu called Bible. Remember how they talked about spreading the gospel? Yep, the Bible. Bible. You know, the Bible, the Lord's book. You know, that Bible. You know, like
The Bible. This is the Bible. You question the words of the mighty Jimmy?
yeah, that. So what are the leaderboard? What? Wait, what? Yes, there are leaderboard rankings. You can actually compete to do charity and mine Bible Pay, which is probably a great. Honestly, that's an actual ingenious way of making sure your coin is stable for a niche market. Is to put competitiveness and rewards for all the people that invest or actively code for your blockchain platform. Honestly, that's really genius. It's really insidious, which is why Christians came up with it. I mean, look at how evangelicalism works. But yes, so there is a section here called Bible, and at any point, you can load up different Bible verses and passages. So you have the Sinner's Prayer, Lord's Prayer, the Apostle Creed, the Nicene Creed, the Ten Commandments, Jesus' concise commands, or you can just read the entire goddamn Bible. So watch this. We kick clear. I don't know if it's going to pop up properly, but I just saw it here. We have the Ten Commandments. Did it pop up on the screen? No, it didn't. Let's see if I can do display capture. We might have that option in here. Let me look for it. We have video capture. I sadly do not have display capture on here, but let's go back to face. See if we have it here. For some reason, it is for think in these things, man. Yep. Let me just see here. I thought we had a display capture here. Okay, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to attempt to add display capture and hope everything doesn't crash. So yeah, this is display capture of it going like absolutely freaking bonkers. So just ignore the stuff. This is like what you guys don't see behind the screen, so now I look crazy. But I just want to show you what I mean here with the Bible coin, right? So we're going to go back here. Bam, there you go, the Ten Commandments. I am the Lord your God. You shall have no other gods before me. You shall not make yourself an idol. Thou shalt not make wrongful use of your name for God. Remember the Sabbath to keep it holy. Honor your father and mother. Thou shalt not murder. Thou shalt not commit adultery. Thou shalt not steal. Thou shalt not bear false witness against your neighbor. Thou shalt not convert. And probably going to be the new 11th commandment. Mine as much Bible pay as you possibly can. Isn't that... Like, again, one of their goals was to promote the gospel, and they literally have... I've never clicked the option for the full Bible. Yep, you can read the entire Bible is in this wallet, and you can... Let's see, we're in Genesis. You can even change the languages. They have it in English, Chinese, Russian, and Ukrainian. Let's see books here. What do we have here? Do we have the Psalms? Yep, we have them here. Part of the Old Book. And you can read all the different Psalms in there. That's... wow. Just... wow. Alright, let's stop tripping out here. Okay, let's go back to the Bible Pay. So yeah, it's kind of the thing. Of course, you know, you have to send recent transactions. You can get your wallet notifications and stuff. And by the way, again, we're not sponsored by Bible Pay. I'm not saying this is a good or bad thing. I am just still mesmerized that this even exists. So let's go back to the browser. Let's get off Bible Pay here. There we go. So as it says here, how do you create a Christian public key pair? I think you do this in the terminal command. So let's see. This is all for this is the smart contract. So let's see if this command actually works, because I actually haven't tried this before. So we're going to go back to the Bible Pay here, and we're going to open up the debug console, which yeah, sadly that's not showing. So again, I have to open the display capture again. I'm going to have to create a new display capture again. I apologize, everyone, for how this currently looks. I thought this could do multi-window, apparently not, and we're going to stream for probably 10 to 15 more minutes, and then we will be done with this. I promise you. So I'm just going to permanently leave the display capture here just in case for everything. Because right now, we apparently need it more than we thought we needed. So we're going to attempt to try this. So I'm going to bring up, this is the, let's actually bring up both of these. This is the tools window, so we should be able to copy pasta this in, which the command is EXEC, so X key, CPK, or the Christian public key pair, and then the nicknames. So I'm going to give it DC201. There was an error with it, I guess because I haven't set it up properly. I was just curious to see if any of these commands work. That's all. We're going to try a couple of different commands tonight before everything ends, just to note, so bear with us here. You can decipher one wallet. I think I have to set up and encrypt the wallet first before I do those commands, but we're not going to do that in tonight's episode because I usually trash these wallets episodes because I'm only showing these for the show. Like I have my own personal wallets I use on other devices. So let's get on here because I'm already late for my friend's thing. So what other things can we do here? Well, let's talk about its staking system and mining system. So originally, the mining system, and hold yourself, was known as a PODC setup, or Proof of Distribution Computing, which that's part of it. Sorry, that was part of the setup. It basically, as it reads here, is very similar to Gridcoin with Bionic. That's how, remember the whole cancer research thing? This is how you would actually set that up. And again, we already have done this on Gridcoin, so we're not going to do that today. I might experiment that off stream, but see if we can even get some Bibble coins. But we're gonna do that. We're not going to do that today. A new addition too. Remember the episode where we covered IPFS? And by the way, I will show this later. We couldn't originally get the wallet downloaded just due to time constraints for Mazda Coin. I finally got it downloaded. I had to use, by the way, just real quick for the episode that was back in November, I had to use the GUI. And basically, once I got the correct IPFS address, I entered the command, and that set it up in the command line, as we did on the show. Then I went to the GUI. There's a new INCENT reward, by the way. You can go to getincent.com. It's free cryptocurrency we give out. It's not a scam. Go enjoy yourself. It's free. Merry Christmas and Happy Hanukkah and holidays and Panda Bear and all of that. Bah humbug. Also, GNU Cherry Pratcher. But, yeah. When we covered that, so I had to go into the GUI, put that exact same URL in, and it downloaded, and I have the Mazda Coin wallet. I could show it right at the end or maybe beginning of next year on our first episode of 2021, but I managed to do it. We couldn't do it on the air because I was a little confused and also time constraints, but yes, we actually did that. But yeah, when we showed off IPFS, remember that was that like interplanetary file system where it was disconnected. Remember I said that a lot of cryptocurrencies are going to use it? You can actually now IPFS mine. Is very bad for your stream. No, the IPFS worked during that. It wasn't the stream because I tried offline and I still was having the same errors. So it wasn't like OBS and the stream took the most. It was literally I didn't quite know the process, and then I figured out, oh, you have to use the terminal to point to where the URL is, and then go through the GUI and then give that same URL again, and it downloads. That's what I was confused, and then I set up the Mazda Coin wallet and done. But yeah, you can do IPFS mining with this. So you can use IPFS. It's still being kind of stopped here because it says warning, its page is under construction. And you can actually mine this coin through the IPFS system. Now, how do you mine for it? Well, originally, if I can find it somewhere around here, I think it's in the GitHub. The wiki. The original thing, and I shit you not, was called Proof of Bible Hash. So you probably have heard of Proof of Work and Proof of Stake and Proof of Research like we did on Gridcoin and stuff like that. But this is Proof of Bible Hash. What the hell does that even mean? So the old system here, if I can find it, so is the, let's see, Let's see if we can actually search for it, because I can't remember the tab. I may have, like, misspelled something, so we're gonna... I think I misspelled something. P-R-O... Oh, it's 2 O's. I can't spell for my life. Here we go. This was it. This is just absolutely amazing and hilarious. Proof of loyalty, which they called, let's see, it's cryptocurrency consensus algorithm. They implemented this January 9, 2018. Bible Pay currently, this was the old system, used a proof of Bible hash algorithm, a proof of work algorithm based on the King James Version of the Bible to maintain consensus. I shit you not, this was an actual thing. Over time, the Clore client has been installed with a diverse array of machines around the world, possibly in a botnet, learning to create downsides for the development team. First, the entity has no motivation to upgrade the software and run the latest version unless forced to do so, meaning that the core community is actually becomes a minority, the next big thing, blah, blah, blah. We propose to enhance the proof of Bible hash algorithm with the existing proof called proof of loyalty. The POL extension makes proof of Bible hash a hybrid algorithm, partially proof of work and partially proof of stake. So it's using both systems. Proof of work is where you're using a computational algorithm that is mainly directed for your CPU, most commonly your GPU, where it actually does raw processing power. Proof of stake is that it takes the coins, and the longer you keep your coins in your wallet, the more it replicates. So this is partially a proof of work algorithm. Your CPU does a minor thing, because I know all of this is CPU instead of GPU, although you can enable it to GPU, and then I guess that hashes it against how many Bible Pay coins you have, and then comes up with that sort of thing. Yeah, that was the proof of Bible hash, and from what I understand, instead of the hashes itself were derivative of the King James Bible that are actually in the individual blocks. Wow, using the Bible to literally make your blockchain. They also noticed attacks here that are possible, which is, for example, you can't do large amounts, like over 50 million of them, and then use them for like all users, is because coinage, which is a type of exploit that we covered on the last episode. Also, this is a disadvantage for running multiple machines at the same time, so you can't create an array or to use botnets and things like that. But that was the old system. What they want to do now, and we're going to look at a quick video for this, and we're going to attempt to try this, and hopefully the stream doesn't die. So if it randomly cuts out, either the SWAT team invaded, or what do you call it? Or there was too much bandwidth being used, is we're being updated to Random X, which is not Speed Racer's brother. Let's look at the video of how they describe Random X. Desktop audio was off, but at least the subtitles were on. I must have accidentally turned off. I was meant to turn the mic off, so I apologize for that. But you kind of get the idea here. It was really generic voice. They're doing what's now, they've upgraded to a much more secure Random X algorithm. And you're probably wondering, what the hell is Random X? Isn't that thing that they injected Captain America with, and he became like a super soldier and stuff like that? Well, we have it forked here, where you can see all the Random X code here. As it says here, Random X, it's a proof of work algorithm optimized for general purpose GPU and CPU. I have my notes here, by the way. Its main feature is random code executions, hence the name, executions, Random X. We covered this a bit with Monero, because this is very much, and you're using the similar techniques and the same techniques as Monero. So even though this is based on Bitcoin, the mining system is Monero. Christians, let me tell you. Together with several memory hard techniques, so they're hardening the memory for these type of mining. This combo is fully appreciated by developers, but basically it minimizes efficient advantage of specialized hardware. In other words, it brings the ASIC concept that we talked about in Monero down to earth. Basically, you can run CPU mining. It's not supposed to tax your CPU very much. We're going to test that in a moment. Everyone's going to rely it. And there's two modes you can have. There's a fast mode, which has 2080 millibits of shared memory, or light mode, which is only 256 millibits of shared memory, although it runs slightly slower for it. So it's a more secure hardening technique that was originally derived from for Monero. We covered this back in September with the secure coins when we covered Monero. The main miner, if we go back to the upgrade here, is using XMRig to do the mining, which is a high-performance open-source cross-platform RandomX KPow, Crypto9, Astro, BDW, Unified CPU, GPU miner. So basically covers all these systems. We're looking at RandomX and the RandomX benchmark. It has the binaries for it, and what we are going to attempt to do right now, and then end the episode probably here, is we are going to let me just do some cleanup here. Before we get into that, just in case it crashes, I want to go through some other features first. You could also do a type of staking setup to mine, which is called dynamic whale staking. A giant whale, they should have called it behemoth, which allows Bible Pay coins to be burnt and then used as a reward block with interest. Remember when we talked about burning coins with the ZeroNet concept, as well as we got into security coins with the Deep Onion coin that it came from the dark web in October. So we covered burning a coin, in which instead of having that as its block being an actual unit in a cryptocurrency, you burn the coin, so you burn the hash data on it, so it's not a cryptocurrency anymore, but you can use it for something else. And in this case, you burn coins so that you gain interest on your overall collection and chain. So that's what this dynamic whale staking is. Let's see here. You can stake first from 7 days to a year, and you can amass between 100 and 1,000,000 Bible Pay coins, depending on how you set that up. And there's a whole bunch of commands in the command line that, again, we're not going to do today. The other thing which is hilarious is that they do have master nodes, but instead of calling them master nodes, they want to be extra and call them sanctuaries. So it says you have to characterize master nodes, or as we call them, sanctuaries, one sentence. It might be something like power to the people. In Bible Pay, there's no boss signing checks. That all payouts are delivered in a decentralized way, what's known as a decentralized autonomous organization, or DAO. Remember the DAO from Lotus Coin? Christians are using this too with the Bible Pay. So this is a decentralized method of when the master nodes do hashes and gather coins, how it spreads out for everyone who's contributing through the mining with this RandomX algorithm that's being used. And so that's what so instead of, they do have master nodes, but they call them sanctuaries, and it works kind of the same way. And again, like what's shown here, which you can use with the command line, is you can join the Bible Pay Healing Campaign, which is an optional campaign, and that's all the charity stuff. This will automatically turn on either mining for one of these charity organizations, or you can turn them on for all the charity organizations. So that's something you can do in the command line as well. And last but not least, before we try this, the Christian Space Functional Design, which is the functional design document for the Christian spaces, where basically this is an outline of how you program and how you design the GUI for Bible Pay and its wallet. So again, it's open source on the MIT license, but if you want to make your own, they essentially have a style guideline with how to create this. So, one last thing. It has partial compatibility with Dash. So think about this. It's forked from Bitcoin, uses a Monero mining system, and is partly comparable with Dash. And something you can do is you can actually use, which we saw in the wallet briefly, there is a Dash RPC feature on here. Let's see if I can switch back over to the wallet, and then we're going to do a testing with staking, and then we should be good for this episode, and I can hopefully catch up with my friends. So let's see, Bible Pay. Turn this on. Oh, we had Bible Pay. Oh, shoot. I was covering the screen the entire time with the thing. Never mind. I'm sorry. Let me do a quick recap here. God, I'm stupid. So, we're going to do that in a moment. But yeah, what we're kind of doing here is that they do have, again, master nodes, but they're called sanctuaries. This is the charity campaigns where you can enter in the command lines which charities individually or all of them you want to. They'll take a percentage of what you mine and send that over to. And then there's the whole spec sheet of how to design for the network and the GUI if you fork this, because this is an open source project. And finally, you have the Dash Pay RPC, which allows to use all the stuff that Dash has as functions. So basically, you can use Bible Pay, or the Bibble Pay as I like to call it, as let's bring it back up again, as gift cards. Let's see, it should be somewhere in here. Yeah, see the private send? Remember we brought that up with Dash with the privacy cryptocurrencies? It's currently disabled, but we could actually, let's see if we can go on the send function. We can actually turn that on and use it. You can use private send, insta send. These are all the features of Dash. We can put them. We can put Bible Pay in Dash gift cards, and send that out to people we want to gift. You know, hey, like Merry Christmas, to fight the war on Christmas, I got you a gift card with this much Bible Pay on it. Do bill payments online, etc. So all the features, and you can do that. Either turn them on the GUI wise or enter them in the command line that you could do with Dash. You can also now do with Bible Pay. But let's go back to this random X. Where is it? This is random X mining, and again we're going to be using let's see here, yeah, we're going to be using XM rig here, which is what they recommend, and we're going to follow a bunch of instructions that will hopefully work. So let's see, so we already have CMake running, and which I'm going to bring up here in a moment. Is actually might have to turn on display capture at one point. We do have our terminal up here that we're going to need. This is a really cool thing that I love that's called the MSYS2 terminal, which basically allows you to, it basically emulates kind of Linux, and it allows you to do Arch Linux commands, which I'm familiar with, in Windows as a subsystem. So let's see, for dependencies, we need to, let's see here. So we recently downloaded, if I remember correctly. No, I don't. Did we download it yet? Let me find out. So there's a bunch of pre-built dependencies here. So let's see here. Windows. Let's see. Okay, so here's what we have to do, and we're gonna kind of flip back to the. Let's see. We're gonna take out terminal. We're gonna flip back to the browser here. So bear with me. We're going to do the dependencies first. So the part that you're not going to see here yet is we need to go into our base folder here somewhere. Yep, into C. And we're going to create a folder in here. And hopefully I'm not going to screw up this entire system, which would be impressive. We're going to call it XMRIGDEPS. So we've created that. Actually, let me put on screen share so you can see display capture, so you can potentially see what I'm doing here. So where's the folders? So we're doing that, and then what we're gonna do here, now that we have that, is there's recently pre-built dependencies, and we're gonna go to there, and let's see, usage repository. So okay, so we're gonna actually go. So we're actually gonna stop the screen share thing here for a moment, and we're going to bring up the terminal, the MI and the what do you call it, the MSYS2, and I'm very lazy, so I'm going to, let's see. I believe this should be the right commands here. So we're going to put that into our terminal and cross our fingers. Hopefully I do this command correctly. Okay, so that was a dud. Let's see, I think I should have put this part in. Let's find out. Otherwise, we're kind of stuck here, and I'll just explain the rest of this. Let's see, what are we doing here? Let me go back to what they said. Most recent versions using the green code button. And Oh, duh. All right, let's go. Let's actually, so we're actually going to clear the terminal here. And let's go turn the, let's get rid of terminal and go back to the browser mode because I'm dumb. And so as it says here, because I normally never use this function, I'm so used to git cloning that we're going to go into the code section and we are going to, I mean, there's a command that we could do to do this, but I'm just going to go with how they recommend to do it. So I'm just going to download this as a zip file. And then, let's see, what are the dependencies here? So let me just double check. So so we download dependencies here, GCC and MZF folders. Okay, MVC. So let me just double check here. Whoop, wrong program. Okay, I see what's going on here. So hang on. So let me just double check. GCC 2019 we need because they're going to give us a bunch. We don't need all of them. So I'm going to select 2 of these, hopefully, and we're going to extract. Let's see if we can find correct folder here. If not, I'll just delete a couple of things here. All right, so and this is the part you're not seeing here. This should hopefully be quick. So yes, we have the 2 correct folders extracted into the right area. So let's see. So now we're gonna compare the branches here. So it should be x84, x86, include lib, and then same code, x64 include. Okay, so we have everything. We have all the dependencies set up now. Now here comes the instructional part that will hopefully work and not kill everything. So bear with me. We're going to go back into the terminal here. And let's bring up the terminal on my end. I can kill this zip part. Let's do, where are you? There we go. We're going to do Pacman, capital S here, MINGW-W64-X86 underscore 64 GCC git make. Now this might take forever. If it seems like it's going to take forever, I'm just going to explain what the steps I'm doing and then we'll end the episode here. It's retrieving the packages here. Usually I don't have problems with stuff like this, so we're going to find out here because it looks like it's going to be a lot. It's going. A little bit of a delay on the stream, but it's going. It's going. Exciting stuff. Again, I also just want to remind, let me go back here once more, that we are, where am I on this? Okay, I know where I'm doing. Sorry, I'm just going crazy right now. So as that loads, I just want to remind everyone that once again, while I love doing the show Crypto Barons with you all, and I'm being really late to my friend's show because of the passion I have for this, we are trying to raise funds for the Child's Play charity. It's an awesome organization run by the Penny Arcade folks in which they are trying to gain money for, basically you get to be Hacker Santa. We put the link in the chat where you can donate. If you're on Twitch, you can scroll down. We have a widget which will allow you to, we have a widget that will allow you to donate without skipping the stream. And basically they gain fun toys as well as rehabilitation equipment such as ventilators and wheelchairs and stuff to kids that are physically or mentally ill, damaged, domestic abuse, all of that. So if you want to be Hacker Santa, and I know everyone's broke and I'm broke too, despite having this blockchain necklace here. But if you want to donate $1, $5, $10 and be Hacker Santa before the end of New Year's Day, throughout New Year's Eve as well. Anytime, whether we're streaming or that, you can click on that link or go to our Twitch and donate through Tiltify. All the money will go to the sick kids. We don't touch it, even if we don't make our $300 goal, although we really hope we make $300 for these sick kids. All that money, like if it's 85 by the end, nothing changed, $85 will go to help sick kids. So don't worry about meeting goals. We just want to make kids 2021s better than the entirety of 2020. I think we can all relate to that. Also, if you have any questions, you can ask in chat. And if you like the content that you see so far and don't mind me stumbling and skipping over my own words and stuff, you can hit that bell, like, share, and subscribe on Twitch, DLive, and YouTube. And whether you donate to the Child's Play charity or you subscribe to us on any of the platforms we're watching, and I know I missed the lemons. We are going to do that in a moment. I just want to get rid of all of this stuff real quick because I was just so immersed of what we're doing. So all of that just made itself. I will do that before we end, as well as ready to stream on Twitch, and then go and apologize to my friends that I'm late on. But yeah, when you follow, whether you donate above or you follow us, there's a notification. I give a big cheer for people who follow. I give a super big cheer for those who donate, even if it's $1. So just laying it out there. All right, so let's go to the meat and potatoes of the project. So we're going to do some git clone action here. And ow, I just hit my elbow awkwardly. And just to make sure that I'm super accurate, I am literally copy pasting this URL so I don't fuck it up. Should be the fast part of git cloning. Okay, so we clone into that. So now we're going to make a directive and build a directive. This should be fun. Just going to copy pasta and make sure it's going to make directive, xmrig build, and then we're going to cd into that build folder. So we're already in that build folder there. And let's see. I hope I do this right. I'm just going to straight up copy and paste this whole thing here and pray that this is a command that works and I don't have to fill anything in. Oh, so it's doing the C compiler here. Now this worries me because C and C++ usually takes forever to do. So again, I have no idea how long this is going to last for. If it lasts for over a minute or two, then we'll continue on. So that worked. This might actually be, I'm probably going to jinx it. This is, I think the first time we're going to do, since our first episode and the ZeroNet episode, a command line and or program thing that flat out works with no errors, because open source stuff, especially with cryptocurrency, a lot of times just doesn't work or doesn't work properly. So now that we're in there, we're going to do the final command, which I'm just going to copy pasta just to make sure I'm not screwing this up. Because normally I type these commands here, but I just want to make sure. So we're going to make the -j and the non-proct, and that should be it. And again, this is usually the part that takes forever. So I'm just going to do the spiel regardless, because again, normally this takes forever, and that's what it goes. But when we have this all set up, we basically have upgraded to random X, and then what we can do is use that and insert some commands into the command line of, whoop, what just happened? Did a thing happen? Am I still streaming? Can you folks see me out there? I think we had a little bit of a, so let me know if you can see or hear me out there, because I know my stream just had like a little just like precaution of like, what are you doing sort of thing going on. So I just want to make sure. I might just have to reload the, I think it's just simply just using a lot of CPU resources. And that's what's possibly going on. Although now it seems to be kind of mostly normal. So yeah, this probably is going to take forever. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to go away from terminal, and we might revisit this kind of later. But yeah, that is the Bible Pay. That is our cryptocurrency. So just as a review here before we end the episode, this is when we're going to do the coins. I should have put that in the title. Because this is going to be our last crypto barons until 2021. So what we're going to do is we're going to go over what we've learned real quick. We are going to then hand out some coins on DLive. We're going to go raid a stream. And before we raid the stream, I'm going to tell you a bit of what next year is going to in store. So thank you for watching a DEF CON 201. Let's see here. What we covered is how the Nano Ledger database, not for cryptocurrency, but for user information, names, emails, addresses hacked. It was dumped on this hacker forum, and we discussed methods on how to prevent that. Right now, I would say redo all your emails and passwords or junk emails and passwords that you used if you bought a Nano Ledger. Any of them very recently. We covered the our focus was cryptocurrency that has been used or made by religion, and we're actually mostly compiled, so this is kind of amazing here. Although, again, I think it's choking the stream, so it says we haven't died streaming yet, so hopefully we have the light at the end of the tunnel here, in which they've made karma tokens. Uh, this is a whole Buddhist thing with the Lotus Network with karma tokens and all of that jazz. And then we looked at a coin that started off as a very Jewish centric cryptocurrency for the Jewish community, but then expanded into this whole that expanded to like multiple communities called Bitcoin. We looked at we don't know if it's scam or not, but we looked at ADAB, which apparently is going to be the first crypto Islamic exchange that is based on Sharia law. And then our main course is that we took a look at the probably biggest, most notorious crypto currency that's based on religion and surprisingly competent and complex and secure, known as Bible Pay. We looked into what Bible Pay is. We looked at its tenets, which is donating to charity, having very secure wallet and optimal mining resources, and spreading the gospel, which it does all of these things. You can look up Bible verses. And I'm sorry, by the way, if I'm choppy, because I'm looking at the secondary feed and it seems really choppy now. And hopefully the stream doesn't die again. If the stream dies, you will know, because that's because I'm trying to basically do programming things live, and that is never a good idea. I could possibly cancel this and then build it later, but I might try that here. Cross your fingers. Let's see. Hopefully that alleviates a bunch of processes, and then we can properly stream stuff better. Let me reload my looking stream. So yeah, that was covering religious cryptocurrencies. Thank you again for everyone watching. And just as a heads up, once again, we're going to be doing two awesome things at DEF CON 2.1 starting tomorrow at noon. Tomorrow at noon Eastern Standard Time until Wednesday, December 30th. So from December 27th to December 30th, I will be, and some of the others will be watching the RC3, or the Remote Chaos Computer Congress. Yep, now the stream works. So all that junk that was happening before, if you're watching the stream, that was the CPU resources of me trying to compile something live, which is, again, a bad idea. But yeah, from December 27th, December 30th, so starting tomorrow at noon, all the way until Wednesday at around 1 to 2 p.m. on each day. And it's going to basically, if you want to remember it, it's going to be 12 noon tomorrow on Sunday. I should actually change that to Sunday. I don't know why I wrote Saturday. Monday, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Tuesday, Eastern Standard, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time again. And then 9 a.m. super early Wednesday, Eastern Standard Time. We're going to be watching the German Hacker Convention, Chaos Computer Congress. This year is known as the Remote Chaos Computer Congress, or RC3. That's starting tomorrow. And then on the 31st into January 1st, 2021, we're going to be participating in the DEF CON New Year's Eve celebration. I will share the Remote Chaos Computer Congress in chat here. So that is the link to our blog post about the stream that's going to start tomorrow. And then here is DEF CON, because it's a little confusing on their website. Here is the link to all the celebrations. It's going to be a lot. So it's basically going to be a mini DEF CON just in the course of like 10 hours. It's going to literally be a mini DEF CON for a New Year's celebration, and I think that's just neat. I will bring up right now that I don't know if it's here. Yeah, that let's see what we can load on this. Our next the first ever Crypto Barons in 2021, and the next Crypto Barons. So I won't see you on Crypto Barons. I will see you for the live stream tomorrow throughout the week and New Year's, but you will see me again on January 9th. So we do the second and fourth Saturday of each month. So January 9th at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, same time and same place. And we are going to revisit a old cryptocurrency. This looks new. It calls itself DM. It's actually a cryptocurrency we covered before, and thanks to better computing and better live streaming technologies, I will be able to properly show off this coin and how somehow Facebook made it even worse. We also have another thing that's very related to what's going on in New Jersey in January that I might do as a second episode. And overall, what I can tell you about Crypto Barons in 2021 is we're going to be focusing a lot. We're going to be still looking at sometimes individual cryptocurrencies, but we're going to be focusing a lot on computer programming, maths, which is going to torture me, and we're specifically going to look at D-apps and blockchain applications and the coding and step behind them. We're actually going to code D-apps live on here, compile them, and run them. We're going to learn how to do it together through multiple episodes. I'm also hoping to something I couldn't get to this year, but I plan to getting to at some point, which is using what do you call it? Using we have connections with a lot of the local Bitcoin and cryptocurrency ATMs around here. So something we've been wanting to do is we've been wanting to partner up with them. It's been difficult because of COVID, and open up. Okay, that's weird. Let me just double check something. So test. Okay. So we plan on opening up a cryptocurrency ATM machine and look software and hardware wise while it's there. For some reason, DLive is going nuts right now, and it says we're offline on DLive. I hope we're not. But oh, here we go. So what I'm going to do is we're going to do the treasure chest stuff now as we look for a stream to raid. And I'm going to add 50 to the lemon chest, and we're going to distribute them. So you can win up to 50 lemons right now. What the? Okay, so for some reason, it doesn't want to work. So I apologize. We'll get the lemon system working next time. What we're going to do instead is we're going to go and we're going to raid a stream. And then I'm going to go meet my friends. So again, January 9th, 2021 is going to be our next live stream. We're going to cover the DM coin. It's a rebranding of a coin we previously covered. That one, I want to do justice again, and two, the rebranding is a good excuse to go over that coin and kind of discuss how a major company that created and backed it not only rebranded it but made it worse, as well as me kind of making up for that episode where I covered it and just what do you call it? Then just properly showing it, because last time we unfortunately couldn't get anything properly working. So I'm looking for something or someone to invade. Oh, the Linux Gaming Cast is going on. We're gonna raid them right here on Twitch. So again, thank you all for watching this. I know everything was choppy, especially when we tried to do the make compile. So now I learned my lesson from that. I think honestly, if I ran it in a VM, it would have been worse. So again, if you like Crypto Barons, if you can't wait for January 9th, if you want to see and get updated on all the streams we're going to do tomorrow, and again, like I posted in chat, we're still raising money for the Child's Play charity. You can hit that like bell. You can hit that bell, like, share, subscribe to us on Twitch, DLive, YouTube, and follow us on Facebook, which is kind of our new thing now. We're going to go raid this channel here, provided that the CPU usage allows me to do it. And so again, thank you for watching Crypto Barons. I can't wait to see you tomorrow. I can't wait to see you for New Year's. I can't wait for you to see our next DEF CON 201 meeting. So our first DEF CON 201 meeting of next year is going to be on January 15th. But before then, I will see you on January 9th on Crypto Barons. So invest in crypto safely. I hope you have a wonderful, happy holidays, whatever you celebrate, especially with your religious cryptocurrencies. And I hope you have a great new year. So again, Hack the Planet, Dirty Jersey represents, and I will see you tomorrow for multiple live streaming and New Year's and Crypto Barons on January 9th. Enjoy the outro music. Happy holidays, Happy New Year. Peace, everybody.